So Blue Beetle is coming out August 18th. It's getting close. I've liked what I've seen in the previews and the trailer so far. And remember, this was a movie that was originally supposed to go straight to streaming. And then the new bosses at Warner Brothers saw it and said, no, wait a minute, this is actually pretty good. We want to release this thing theatrically. And now apparently Blue Beetle is the first official character of James Gunn's brand new DCU. Now, James Gunn, who is, of course, now the co-CEO of DC with Peter Safran, he just did an interview on Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast, which is really good. And he talked about a bunch of stuff, several things we're going to talk about later today as well. But when the question came up about, Superman and Blue Beetle and things coming up, he said something really interesting. James Gunn said the following. He said this, the first DCU character for sure is Blue Beetle, and the first full DCU movie is Superman, talking about Superman Legacy. Gunn said on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast, released on Tuesday. All right, I think this is like really interesting language here. He says the first official DCU character is Blue Beetle, but the first official DCU movie is Superman Legacy. I'm speculating here, but what I interpreted that as is saying, okay, the Blue Beetle character, new canon with the DCU, but the movie isn't. The first canon movie of the new DCU is going to be Superman Legacy. So I kind of interpreted his words as saying, okay, a Blue Beetle, Shola Mariduena, he's going to come over and Blue Beetle's going to be part of the new DCU. But the events of this upcoming Blue Beetle movie and maybe some of the secondary characters in this upcoming Blue Beetle movie may not be coming over into the new DCU as well, which is actually kind of interesting. So yeah, Superman is going to be the official kickoff of the DCU, but we're going to get this character Blue Beetle. He's going to be a part of it. And I thought that was really fascinating. Now, I've been interested in seeing this movie ever since we caught word that, they were moving it from straight streaming over to a full theatrical release. And I liked what they've seen. But listen, this Blue Beetle movie has a big uphill climb to make because the quote unquote success of I think it's fair at this point to call it the old DC, the success or lack thereof of the old DC leading up to Blue Beetle has been pretty miserable. Let's take a look at the results of the last 5 DC movies. Going back to 2020, Birds of Prey only managed to make $205 million worldwide. Wonder Woman 1984 only managed to make $169 million. Granted, there was a little, thing going on called a pandemic that really affected it. I'm sure it would have done better. Still, the bottom line was it made $169 million. Then Suicide Squad, James Gunn's own Suicide Squad, which again, big asterisks, pandemic era, plus the idiotic decision made at Warner Brothers to release it on HBO Max. So that obviously crippled it as well, but it made $168 million. But then you had Black Adam that people waited for 15 years.
There we go.
2022, post-pandemic, first DCU post-pandemic movie. Couldn't even break $400 million with the world's biggest movie star, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, only made $393 million. And then Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which is a good movie, managed a pathetic $133 million, making it what I call the biggest flop. I like this movie very much, but it is the biggest flop, I think, of the big superhero genre era. I don't think there's ever been a flop bigger than this one. And again, it's really too bad because it's actually quite a good movie. So that is the environment in which Blue Beetle is coming out in. And it's just going to be really interesting to see how well, and it's a brand new character. Blue Beetle's not a new character. Well, for most movie-going audiences, Blue Beetle's a character they never heard of. I think we can all agree on that. So it's got a big uphill climb to do. I got to assume James Gunn likes the movie if he's decided to make the character and bring the character over into his brand new DCU. But it's going to be interesting to see which way they go. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, ExpressVPN. Guys, it is 2023, and online privacy and security has never been more important. You see, every device, phones, computers, tablets, has a unique IP address, which is like an internet phone number and reveals personal information about you. It's super simple for somebody online who knows what they're doing to find your IP address if you've ever clicked on a sketchy link or opened an email from somebody you don't know. Your IP address could become exposed. Now that's where ExpressVPN has your back. ExpressVPN is an app that hides your real IP address and replaces it with a dummy one, keeping you safe and private. And you don't have to be some kind of techie to use a VPN. Guys, it is so easy to use. Just download the ExpressVPN app on your phone or computer, tap one button to turn it on, and you're protected. And if you like your streaming entertainment, here's the coolest part. They let you choose what country you want your IP address to look like it's coming from. This is incredibly useful because services like Netflix and Disney Plus give you different shows depending on what country you're in. So secure your family's online activity and unlock tons of new shows by visiting expressvpn.com/Campea. Use my link and you can get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/Campea. Go to expressvpn.com/Campea to learn more. Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? About the fact that James Gunn is saying Blue Beetle is the first official character of the new DCU, but it's not the first official movie of the DCU. How do you interpret his words? Do you interpret them like I do, thinking that the character's canon, but the movie itself isn't? Superman Legacy is obviously going to be the kickoff for the new universe. And what do you think its chances are come August when it hits theaters of making any money? Could it be a surprise hit like the recent Guardians of the Galaxy 3? Well, that wasn't that big of a surprise, but made over $800 million. Or is it going to be the next Shazam 2 that completely falls on its face? Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Make sure you click the thumbs up button on it and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget that we do a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast. Go and subscribe to it today on your favorite podcasting app of choice.